if I may introduce you to all my viewers, so we have Tina Walia today with us with Candid with Ankit Nagpal on the 19th episode, who's a groomer, who's an image consultant, who's an etiquette coach. Not just that, she's got these two lovely stores for women in GK, and so we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a long conversation on all this, and so yes, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Ankit, and I'm equally delighted to be here. Um, your introduction was as warm as you are, I would like to say that. And I have been following you on your Insta handle as well. And of course, we have Sonam as a common friend who speaks
So
very highly of you. And I
thank
have
you.
been following your work as well, and you have done phenomenally as well. So I'm
Thank you.
absolutely glad to be here with you today. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for such kind words of mutual admiration, I must say. But thank you so much. So, Tina, to begin with, I'll just tell you a little concept about this entire show. So, this concept, this entire show is kind of divided into four different parts. And most of my viewers who are my regular watch, who do watch this show, they have an idea, but many of them are new ones here. So, I must mention that the first segment we keep it like a professional. We discuss a
Sure.
little professional life. We go to on second segment. We go on to the personal, and so on. We go on to the viewers' question. We've got some questions from the viewers, and
Okay.
because we do put it out, broadcast it, and send it out to our social media, so a lot of questions come back there. And the
Okay.
last segment is a contest because I have these two lovely brands with me who are my gifting partners, which is Voila Accessories and Gem
Okay.
Minds. So we're
Okay.
going to have a little contest about you, and whoever answers me first, we give them a good, nice prize and a gift hamper for them.
Fantastic. I'm excited.
So lovely. So let's begin with this, Tina. And I would, I'll begin with a question which will actually set the base for the entire conversation, which I'm going to have with you. And this question would ideally be that, you, as I started my introduction with you, you have been a person with multiple things that you've been involved with in one go. So, how has your journey been? Because as I read and as I see your profile, I was searching through online that you've also started your career, and it's been more than probably, more than 20, 23, 25 years, I think you've been in this industry. You started as a model and coming to a place where you're grooming people. So, you're completely on the other side of the table, on the other side of the entire platform. So, would you like to share your journey probably with us as a groomer, as an image consultant, as an etiquette coach? So, all of that, if you would like to share with us.
Sure. I'd be delighted to do that. I think it all happened very organically, Ankit. It came very naturally to me. Like you mentioned, I have been in the fashion industry for the last maybe 23 odd years in some way or the other. I started off as a model in my younger years. Then, when I got married, I decided to give that up, and my husband and I decided to, open these stores in GK Market, um, which of course grew from one to two to three, and then my children came along the way, and I realized that I had to take some kind of a sabbatical because I wasn't able to do full justice to everything that was on my plate. um, so that happened, and so I took a short sabbatical, and once the children were grown up, I realized that there was just some kind of a void in me, and I wanted to get back on that journey. And which is when I saw these ads for image consultancy, and I realized that this seemed right up my alley, because it kind of fueled that aesthetic sense which I had in me. And I joined up for that, and I was already almost 40 by then, by the way. So
No.
it is possible to get a second career in your life. So for all you ladies out there, it is very much possible to have a second career and to be successful at that. So it happened very organically for me, and So yes, image consultancy happened, and then I became a host with this online channel called Sipping Thoughts, which is also doing very well. I became a blogger also. Now I'm an influencer on Instagram. So like you mentioned, I wear many hats and I enjoy wearing all of them simultaneously. And it's been a wonderful journey so far.
Superb, superb. I think, Tina, I think as you rightly said, I mean, it was a message for all the ladies, like you mentioned. But more importantly, you are an inspiration. I mean, for, like you said, at the age of 40 to have a new career altogether, a lot of people feel that, by the time you're 35, 40, you tend to settle yourself in one direction and you feel that, this is something I want to do now all my life.
I
But
know.
it's
Most people
wonderful
want to
to,
retire and have a good life, but actually, I feel that is the best time. You know, your children are kind of grown up and you have more time on your hands. And I also feel that you are more settled and mature. You know, you are more confident in your abilities and your decisions in life. So it's
sure.
actually a nice time to start off on a second career in that sense.
That's true. That's very true. And I'm definitely going to keep this as an inspiration for many others who ask me. So I can relate you, and I have somebody else also when we talk about modeling and we talk about Dinesh Mohanji. He's also an actor. He started his career very late, and but he's also doing so well. So you both of you are like a great inspiration for many. So
Thank you.
we'll following on, Tina, for many of us, so many viewers, many of them try to understand the fact that, what is, when you say per se, image consultant, what is the role of an image consultant you feel, and how important is it to have an image consultant in your life? And when
A
somebody,
little something here.
uh, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, I'm sorry. There was a little connection problem back.
No problem. No problem. So my question was that
I
many
heard you.
viewers would want to know what is an image consultant, what's the exact profile, what do they do, and carrying on to this, I have two other questions. Is that how important is it to have an image consultant, and do you feel that somebody, there is a point when somebody feels that I need an image consultant? So all of that combined, I would love to know more about this profile.
Sure. I'm going to answer all those questions for you, but I want to share a little something with you here. So, when I decided to become an image consultant, and I shared this with my parents the first time, my father says, तुम लोगों को कपड़े पहनना सिखाओगी, कपड़े पहनना तो सबको आता है, तुम ऐसा नया क्या करोगी, so I was a little zapped. I said, what is he saying, but there is a lot of misconception even out there in the general public, even today. So the most common one being that a lot of people confuse stylists with like image consultants. I, of course, am both, thanks to my modeling background and my stores. But I would say, answering your question, an image consultant is really a person who aims to improve the image of their client personally as well as professionally by working on their A for appearance, B for behavior, and when I say behavior, that would include your etiquette, your manners,
Yeah.
C for communication, so that would include even your soft skills to a certain extent, and D for your digital footprint. Okay.
Okay.
So these are basically your ABCDs of image management. All right. So
Sure.
what happens is, every individual out there nowadays has certain amount of skills, talents, and their own expertise. But how do you ensure that you stand out from amongst so many other people in our country, which has a population of so many people, who are
Right.
equally talented, who are equally skilled, who are equally knowledgeable? And that, I feel, is where image management comes to the rescue. It will give you something that will help you strengthen your own personal brand by helping you work on your ABCDs, like I said, your appearance, your behavior, your communication, as well as your digital presence.
Right.
And answering your question, um, so this can help people to even maybe attain their goals in life. It can help people in certain threshold situations which are important to them. Maybe certain situations where they are being promoted and they don't know how to deal with it. It could be situations where they are being promoted and being sent to a completely different city or a completely different country. It could even be something simple as a girl getting married and shifting into a new family, and she
No.
needing a little help with dealing with the new family and the new cultures and traditions of that family. So I would say pretty much everybody needs help at some level. So it is
Right.
actually for everybody out there, and not just for the elite class as some people think it is for. So have you ever realized, Ankit, that when you even go to a store or a mall and you're shabbily dressed, you don't get the kind of attention and service that you will get when you're well dressed?
Absolutely.
Has that ever
Yes.
happened to you? I don't know if
Absolutely,
it's
it
happened to you.
does.
It's happened to me a lot of times. So when I just get up and get out of the house and you step into a store, they'll treat you very casually. And then when you make that little extra effort and you go in, and they'll give you all the time of the day and cater to you well. So that is basically what image management is about. And it's
I
been
agree.
scientifically proven that a person will make judgments about you in the first 3 to 5 seconds of meeting you. And
Right.
if you don't work hard to get or make that first right impression, it's all going to be downhill from there.
I
So,
so agree with you on that, Tina, because considering that I am a groomer as well, and I groom a lot of models in different shows and contestants, and I realized the fact that, I think I don't remember any barely a time when I would have gone to a public space which I'm really shabbily dressed because of the same reason, as you rightly said. But I would also add to that it also reflects on your confidence because when it definitely your confidence goes up and down as the way you're dressed. It happens on stage, on a show. It happens off stage also while you're out on a public space.
100%. Well said. When you're well
Right.
dressed, you automatically feel so much more confident. You feel like you can take on the whole world, right?
Surely, absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Completely agree with you there, Tina. In fact, we have lovely comments coming down there as well. And so, welcome everybody. You're all my lovely viewers. So, I'm glad you're all here from Tina's list and mine as well. So, I'm happy to have this show here live with you guys. And so, this takes us to the third question that I want to ask you. Tina, because these are a few questions that I always wanted to ask, an image consultant, and somehow I could not ask, and here I've got a platform to ask you this. So you're kind of answering my real questions that I always had. So I always want to know the difference where a personality development and an image transformation. I'm sure there is a difference between both these terms and the profile. Am I right with that? And if so, then what exactly is it?
So I would say, Ankit, what we do as image consultants is something that even personality development people are doing, but we're doing so much more. So when I speak of the ABCD of image management, we are making sure that we are strengthening not just your exterior or your image from the outside, but we are strengthening your interior self also. Because we do this entire thing where we strengthen your self-esteem. You see, because if your self-esteem is not what it is, you're never going to feel that 100% confident self that you should be. You agree with me? So your personality development coaches are going to polish you and help you with your soft skills to a certain extent.
Right.
And they're going to teach you maybe your etiquette and manners. But what we are going to add to that is also going to help you with your image. We are going to help you strengthen your interior, your self-esteem also. We are also going to give you certain tools that will help you make the best clothing choices, that will help empower you for the rest of your life. You will know exactly how to dress, for what occasion, for what purpose in your life. You know, so it is pretty much like a entire wholesome package. So I would say we're doing a complete package, whereas they're just doing a little bit of soft skills. We're doing soft skills, we're doing the image, we're doing the entire thing.
Right. So, well said. I think it's kind of cleared my mind as well. And I have a few questions which are coming from Kritika, and I have Beti Dal who's asking me a few questions, and somebody else as well. So I'll only request you guys, because we have a viewer's question, another segment altogether. So we're going to address these questions for sure. But this may take a little time, and it will be nice if you guys are glued with us. So I'm going to go for my next question.
We can take the questions along the way. I'm fine with that. That's okay.
We can do that as well. We can do that as well. So Kritika asked me saying, let me just scroll up. I think she asked me that can we fake confidence?
Absolutely. So like they say, fake it till you make it. And which is what we were discussing, Ankit. When you're well dressed, right, you automatically feel, and you feel so much more confident about yourself, don't you? So when you put in that extra effort into your appearance, into your grooming, your personal hygiene on a daily level, you feel that much better about yourself. And this also has been proven. So when you look better, you will feel better about yourself, and automatically your productivity at work also will improve. So when your productivity at work will improve, your confidence also will start improving. So that, I would say, is fake it till you make it also at a certain level.
Superb. I think that's the answer for Kritika. And I have another
question.
I have one more question here which says, do you feel the confidence is inbuilt or it can be taught?
So in some people who are blessed with the right kind of family background, it is inbuilt as well. But for most of us, I think it isn't, because we are compared to either our siblings or somebody or the other. And there is a little chipping away at our self-esteem, and it is eroded when we are, children. So I firmly believe that it can be taught as well. So a lot of positive affirmations help, and that is something that I really believe in. Tell yourself daily that I am good at this, or write your positive affirmations down in a diary, and that really helps. So it can definitely be taught.
Super, great. Wonderful. So good. I'm glad that we are, as you agreed and you said you would like to take questions. So it's great that we are taking a few questions in between here. So I'll go ahead with my next question, Tina, is that, like I said, you've been involved with so many other things as well. And like I was scrolling through your profile and I realized that you've got these two stores in GK, like you also mentioned to me, which probably happened post your marriage. And so what is the store about? Like, because you belong to the more of a lifestyle segment. And if I rightly say that, I think the stores have women apparel and accessories for ladies and women. So can you throw some light on that? Like what is it? What are the stores about?
Yes, for sure. So these stores are like my third baby. And like you mentioned, when I got married, I was absolutely coming from the modeling background and totally into, aesthetics and creativity, all that. So I wanted something that would keep me, constructively occupied. So we decided to open these stores, and so yes, they're all about ladies fashion and accessories, shoes, handbags, you name it, and we have everything under one roof. We started with one store, and we turned it into three, and then as luck would have it, with the malls coming along in Delhi, uh, the footfall became a little slow, so now we're down to two.
Right.
But yes, the pandemic now has taught us that only physical stores don't help, and that one needs to kind of go online, and the future is
Yeah.
only online. So yes,
Right.
do expect something from us in that sense also. But yes, they have been my babies, and touchwood, they have done extremely well. We have a fairly loyal clientele, and considering that M Block GK has a very regular footfall, um, it has been doing very well. So yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Would you like to share the name of your stores? Because I would.
Yes, so it's by the name of Super Hot Girl. Hot as in
Okay.
HAUTE.
Right. Oh, super. Nice. Cool name.
Thank you.
Right. So, Tina, another question that I had where I wanted to know a little bit, a little difference between the two. So, is there a real difference between when we say the right etiquettes that one should have, and we also say that sometimes in conversations we tell somebody, this person doesn't have the right manners, or this person is mannerless or doesn't have the right manners. So is there a difference between the right etiquettes and mannerism, like manners, probably the right
Yes.
manners and the right etiquette?
Okay. So I'm so glad you asked me that question, because there is a very so there is a misconception that both etiquette and manner is synonymous. Most people use it interchangeably, and also I'm not going to give you a definition which most of us can Google from Wikipedia, because everybody has the internet these days. And why I want to talk about this also, Ankit, is because a lot of people think कि etiquette hai kya, it's such a fancy, high profile sounding name, and
Yeah.
it sounds so snobbish and arrogant. It's only meant for the elite class, and it's so outdated, this concept. Um, so I want to just talk about it a little bit and say that no, it's not really for just the elite class. And I'm going to give a very simple definition to both of these today and try and explain it to the best of my ability, of course. So
Yeah.
when we talk about manners, Ankit, manners is simply talking about behavior. And behavior can be just good or bad behavior, right? You
Right.
agree with me? Okay. And when we
100%
talk
with you.
about, yeah, so when we talk about etiquette, etiquette is just a set of rules that we practice that will tell us how we are putting that behavior into practice. Okay. So what is really happening is manner will answer the question what, and etiquette will answer the question how. So for example, if I were to ask you, how will you know? So if I were to ask you, what will happen when you meet somebody for the first time? So you will obviously tell me, I will smile at them, I will greet them, and I will shake their hand. Okay.
Right.
So if you're going to say, what are you going to do when you're going to meet somebody for the first time? You said, I will smile at them, I will greet them, and I will shake their hand. That will be
Right.
your manners, right?
Right.
Okay. And now what will be the etiquette? Etiquette will be the rules. How will you smile at them? Will you smile at them just this much? Will you smile at them very widely? Will you give them a
Sorry.
huge grin? Etiquette will be answering your question, how will you smile at them? The set of rules for a smile, Ankit. Will you smile at them politely? Will you
Yes.
give them a crazy big smile that will think, okay, this fellow is a lunatic. Why is he smiling at me so widely? Right?
Right.
How, again, how will you greet them? That is again your etiquette. There is a certain set of rules also. How will you greet somebody for the first time? Right? You will
Right.
smile at them and you will simultaneously extend your hand for a handshake. That again is your etiquette. How will you greet them? Then again, how will you shake their hand? Again, there is a set of rules that says how are you supposed to shake somebody's hands. So
Right.
when you're answering the question how, which is basically your set of rules, that is your etiquette. And when you're answering the question what are you supposed to do? Those are your manners. Am I making myself clear?
Very, 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 very well said, in fact. And you've cleared a lot of, I mean, you've put this entire, the answer that you gave me for my question. And I'm so glad, even now, I'm so glad, like after asking you, now that I hear the answer, I am really very glad that I asked you this question because, you've cleared the concept and the ideology behind these two terms. And it's very well that you've put into words. Yeah, thank you so much. I think that's something which
And
I'm very glad that I asked you this question.
And I just want to say that etiquette is not just a very fancy sounding term. It just shows that if you follow the etiquette or the rules of doing something, you're just showing respect to the other person and you're making sure that other people in your company are feeling comfortable in your presence. That's all it is. It's not this
Right.
very shusha kind of, affair. It's nothing like
Right.
that. So everybody should follow etiquette, whatever they can in their own, little way.
Super, super. So, Tina, incidentally, I'm going to ask you a question where I see Beti Dhal, and there were one or two other questions that I saw initially while we were
Sure.
chatting, and we could not take their questions. But the question I'm going to ask now, right now, may answer somewhere their question as well. If not, then you're most welcome to put your questions here. Like Tina is very happy to answer them. So the question that I have for you here, Tina, is that you've achieved success from, like, I started from two different ends. So I'll say, from usually when you come into a modeling career, so everybody feels that getting into the lifestyle, entertainment, and modeling and all, that segment is being a model is the first step. Of course, grooming and other things are there, but when you get into the industry, and now when you're sitting with me here, you're actually on the other side of the table. You're a groomer, you're a coach. So if somebody wants to follow your footstep, there are people who would aspire to be what you are today, and they want to be. So what are the key points, or you would want to say, advise them that they must follow, in their life, in their lifestyle, or probably in their career line, all in all, to reach where you are, and from a model to a coach. So what would you say on that? Like, would you want to give some key points that for them?
So Ankit, I would just say that for me, like I mentioned, the transition was fairly easy because I all I need to say is you need to figure out your own strengths. So when I looked at my journey, I saw that my strengths were that I picked up the skills of makeup, I picked up the skills of styling um, from my modeling background. I was designing and sourcing and styling for my store. So those were my, skill sets from that. Uh, and I've always been keenly a very aesthetic and creative person. So those were again my skill sets. And when I sat down, I realized those were my strengths. So the advice that I would like to give out is that you need to sit down and figure out what are your strengths
Yeah.
and then work from there. And the success does not happen overnight. You need to be very, very well aware that, setbacks will happen. things will take time, and kind of you need to hang in there, not just give up and say, okay, you know, give yourself a timeline for success. Not just say that, okay, it's not happened the first year, it's not happened the second year, and quit. Because if this is what you are passionate about, then stick with it, and the success, the money, the fame will follow eventually. So I would say just figure out your strengths, be determined, and hang in there. Everything else will fall in place.
Great advice. I think well said, Tina. And as I see some lovely comments coming for you, that you're one of the most stylist. I would say a stylish stylist. I would put it in those words also. So yes, and I agree with the viewer, of course.
Thank
Which
you.
takes me, of course, to my next question. You're welcome, Tina. So even I'm like quite, now I have to be correct with my etiquettes to completely, to make sure you're here on live chat with me. So Tina, I have a adjoining question, I would say, from the previous one, but a little more. I'm going to elaborate this question a little in detail and be more specific rather. So my specific question is, Tina, that there are a lot of women, and considering that you've seen both sides of your career, probably I'm assuming that when you were you going for a modeling career and you were doing modeling, you were not married that time, and now that you're married, you're in a different profession altogether, and you're in a different space. So how about a lot of women? And this is a question I'm asking is also, I want to give you a reason, because there are times when I judge a lot of beauty pageants and I'm grooming them and taking grooming sessions for Mrs., especially for the Mrs. category. And I realize that a lot of women haven't fulfilled their dreams, which they really wanted to. And that's why they're there in that pageant. Of course, family support is important, but there are times when they get, they're into a box, they're not able to come out of that entire space. Probably like we say that they're in a shell. So what is that advice that you like to give for them, for all the women, majorly for the ones who are misses and married, that they want to do a lot in life, they want to achieve something, but they are at times not able to because of their probably family values, restrictions, or whatever, their in-laws or husband, however. Any advice that you want to give to them?
Sure. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Ankit, when you say that a lot of women out there who want to achieve so much in life but are held back because of certain situations in their family. Um, but yes, I cannot give one advice here, which is like one size fits all, because at the end of the day, every woman knows her own situation best.
Sure.
All I want to say is that we as women are extremely wise and extremely strong. I would say stronger of both the sexes at the cost of all the male audience that we might have here. Um, so please gauge your own situation um, to the best of your ability. Take stock of your strengths and decide for yourself whether the step that you're going to take is going to be worth whatever you're going to do, because what step you might take in the future also will require a lot of sacrifices.
Sure.
Success will not probably come instantly, like I said. So you might be, jumping from one thing or leaving your family life and be wanting to jump into a career, but not be happy at the end of it also. So make a very wise decision, one. And B, if you're very, very sure that you want to jump into a career at the cost of your family not being happy, with the decision, then somehow try to convince them that, um, this is actually what is going to give me happiness and joy in life. And
Right.
like I said, women are extremely wise. They will kind of foray their way through the whole journey. And if I have been able to do it, I'm sure other women will be able to do it as well. It wasn't easy for me, And I know a lot of other women like me who have been able to do it. But like I said, everybody's situation is different, and they have to see for themselves what works for them.
Great words of motivation, I'll say. You know, when you few words you said where I said you were quite inspiring, and here you kind of motivated many people and many viewers who would even watch this video later. So wonderful, great. I'm with you on that to what you just said, Tina. Which also takes me, because everything has good and bad, everything has its own pros and cons. So here comes my difficulty part to your question is, you know, all this journey that you had and this journey that you where you are today. So is there any difficulties that you faced? That's something you would like to share with all of us here? Uh,
Of course, I think everybody's life is full of difficulties, isn't it, Ankit? Nobody has it smooth.
Absolutely it is.
That's something we all have in common. I would say for me, it was always first, it started with self doubt. I was not this confident, I would say, to begin with. Then age was a huge factor. I always kind of was unsure if I was making the right decision. If younger girls would be better off than me, you know. Um, then the fact that you're always guilty if your kids will be neglected, your house will be neglected. If I would be able to study so much, there are
Right.
so many decisions. How I would be able to navigate with my husband dealing with me not wanting to work. So there were difficulties plentiful, but everything kind of worked out in the end because this is truly what I'm passionate about. And this is truly what I love doing. And I'm glad I stuck to it because even though success does not come instantly, if you really love what you do, it will follow, like I said.
All right, this gets me closer. Like somebody mentioned, without difficulties, you're never learning anything. That's true. That's absolutely true. So we always also say that sometimes people are born with a silver spoon, but I still feel that the learning never stops. Whether they've been
True.
born with a silver spoon or you make an effort to, you know, be what you want to be, I think the learning is still there, and difficulties when they come, I mean, learning comes with it, along with it.
I think the silver spoon also, Ankit, is a perception. So what might seem like a silver spoon to an outsider might not seem silver spoon to the person that you might perceive to have one, you know.
Right.
So it's the perceptions are different. And yeah, what you said is completely true. I agree with you.
Super, Tina. So, Tina, I'm going to come to my second last question in this segment of a little professional questions that I want to ask you, and of course, tell my viewers that post that we'll take a quick, reconnect to our chat, because Instagram also has a 1 hour policy that they usually shut down post after
Yeah.
1 hour of a time. So, if so that our next segment doesn't get interrupted, it would be great that we can restart our conversation after this
Sure.
segment, after the professional one. So I'd like to ask you this question, second last question that I have for you here on my mind, that, you know, any two, three tips that you like to give for someone who wants to improve, themselves overall as an image. They want to work on their improvement on their image. Any quick 2 or 3 tips that you like to share with us?
Sure. So the first is a very cliched one, which is to smile more often because people are instantly attracted to somebody who is a more happy, positive kind of personality rather than a grumpy, angry kind of space. So smile, um, learn to be a more positive, confident person. Stop worrying about, you know, those last 5 kgs that I cannot lose. Why am I not as fair and as so and so? It just does not matter. You know, there are a lot of people like us out there who will help you wear the right clothes to make you look your most confident, positive self. And last but not the least, I would say spend an extra 20 minutes on dressing up better because like we discussed earlier, when you're looking good, you feel better and your productivity and work will improve, which will eventually help you become the positive and confident person that you're hoping to be. So yes, I would say
Well
those
said,
three
well said.
tips.
I think this goes for a clap because these are like quick tips and very helpful. And in fact, I have one more question, and I thought I'll have my last question, but suddenly this question has come up in my mind while you mentioned this. But I think I'll ask you the question, and I'll give you a quick answer that I feel that is my perspective, and you can correct me because you're an expert in this. So my question to you was that I was about to ask you is that you said smile is very important. That's a quick tip that you gave. And my question was that, especially for women, sometimes a smile can be troublesome, for people where it can give you a very wrong message to an environment which is of strangers. Uh, but my answer, my perception is I want to share. But here I'll connect with what you mentioned to me initially between a difference between an etiquette and mannerism. So I think that's the way what I could learn with this chat is probably the mannerism would be to smile, but the etiquette would be rules as to how and how much. So how much to smile and where to smile as to what kind of a smile to give in. So this is my learning with this chat today. If I'm right, then please
Exactly.
correct me if anything that you want to add here.
I think you were 100% bang on, Ankit.
Super, thank you. So, Tina, my last question completely is on your future plans that we'll all like to know. And for all my viewers, again, I'd like to mention that please don't go. We are going to connect back after this question and we'll start with some fun questions. We've had a serious conversation. Then we'll have some fun conversation. We'll have a rapid fire with Tina. Let's see how alert can be a image consultant be as well. So that's the way we can kind of test her. And I'm sure she's going to come out with flying colors. So my last question is here, Tina. What are your future plans? Also adding the fact that considering that, this pandemic has come in, which was unexpected. None of us could, we ever predicted that's going to happen. So how do you see yourself or your work or your future plans in the near times to come?
So, like I mentioned, Ankit, the future plans involve being more online because, like you mentioned, the pandemic, and I mentioned my store. So, the future is to get the store online and functional. As for my own self, I'm already an influencer and a blogger on Insta, but hopefully, I want to have my own YouTube channel also soon. So that is what the immediate future plans are. I don't believe in too much long-term planning because frankly, who knows what's going to happen 5 years down the line. So yes, do a little more of the same in the future as well because that's, like I said, is what I love.
Right, Tina. So, Tina, I think I had this great session, which I would call it as my part one for the professional side. And thank you so much to be here with me for this segment. And we are going to join back again. So, all my viewers, please come back in 1 minute. And we'll be live again for the other segment, which is going to be more personal. And before I end this, Tina, I'd like to wish you all the success and may you rise and shine and do well in whatever your plans are in the near future.
Thank you so much, Ankit. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And absolutely in precisely 1 minute, we should join back again. And I request all my viewers to come back and enjoy the other side of the chat.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tina.
Bye-bye.
See you back.